So this is kind of a cool craft that we have going on, and I love butterflies. Butterflies are really one of my favorite things to see when they're flying around, and butterflies help out quite a bit. They are pollinators, so they like to go around. They do an all liquid diet, so they land on flowers, they land on other plants, and that pollen, they spread that pollen around, and that's really what helps a lot of crops and different things like that grow, and they can't grow without it. Another really cool thing about butterflies is that they have symmetry in their wings. And so when I talk about symmetry, I'll kind of show you what I mean. A straight line has symmetry because if you fold the piece of paper in half, the line is the same on one side as it is on the other side. So if I was to draw a circle on this side for it to have symmetry, I'm going to have to draw another circle on this side. If I draw a triangle, I also have to draw another triangle on this side. So when we're drawing or making a butterfly's wings, you have to have that symmetry. So I'm going to show you a fun little way of doing that using folding techniques and scissors. So what we're going to do is grab that piece of paper that we want to use, and I'm going to fold it in half. So butterflies, they have their body, which is a very narrow piece of them, and then their wings that are coming off to the side, and those are the pieces that have that very colorful and the symmetry. So what we're going to do is we're just going to draw a simple little shape, and I'll kind of draw it first and then let you look at it. And this will kind of help us cut something out that's going to have that good symmetry. I'm just going to find a thing here that works. There we go. And one of the greatest things about this is you can have the wings look any way you want them to look. So draw the wing the way you want the wing to look. So this is what I drew. So I have a little bit of the head up here, some of the body, big wing here, another wing here, and then the rest of the body down here. So what I'm going to be able to do is, if you've ever made a snowflake before and you fold the paper up into little pieces and then you cut out the little pieces, that's basically what we're going to be doing here. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut on that line. Now while I'm cutting, I want to talk a little bit about butterflies and some of the important things about butterflies. So I talked a little bit about how butterflies are important because they help pollinate our plants. And so that's really important for farmers because they need the butterflies and other pollinators such as bees or other insects to come onto their property and help pollinate the crops and the food that they're growing, whether it's food that we're going to eat or food that the cows need to eat in order to make milk. So if you like to start off your day with a nice big bowl of cereal and milk, butterflies are really important for that process. I'm just going to go all the way around. We're getting pretty close to the end here. There's some harder cuts in here, so do what you can, make it look the way you want it to look, and always remember, if you mess up, it's okay. You can either try again or see if you can do something with the way it looks now and how can you fix it? Sometimes mistakes happen, and that's okay. So here's half of my butterfly, and now here is my full butterfly. And so I like the way my butterfly looks. Looks pretty cool, but it's very white. It's very plain. A lot of butterflies are very colorful, and I love colorful butterflies. And one of the reasons why butterflies are colorful is to make themselves look different than what they are. So maybe they look like a flower or petals on a flower. So that's why their wings are shaped the way they are and the colors that they have. The other thing that they have, a lot of butterflies have big circles on their bigger upper wing because those would look like eyeballs. And so if a bird was coming down to get them and they open their wings really wide, now all of a sudden a small butterfly looks like a bigger animal with their eyes, and now that bird might be more afraid to eat it. So that's a camouflage technique that butterfly uses. So we're going to get into the next part of it. And again, like I said, we're going to be using some folding and cutting techniques. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take another marker here. I'm going to try to find a lighter one. The lighter, if you have a pencil, pencils work perfect for this because you want to try to erase afterwards. And I'm just going to draw some shapes on the wing, and I want my butterfly to be protected, so I'm going to draw a big eyeball on my wing. And then I'm going to draw a few circles on the outside. I'm going to draw some long oval shapes and a smaller oval shape. And then on the bottom, I'm going to do this cool look. And again, what you're drawing now don't have to be what it ends up fully looking like. It's just a way to kind of draw something in there. So I'm going to bring this up a little bit closer. You can kind of make it out a little bit. The color is maybe not coming through too much. There we go. That's a little bit better. You can see some of those lines, some of those circles. So what I want to do now is start cutting those out. And so what you're going to do is, for the first one, I'm going to fold the paper in half around the first oval. And then I'm going to take my scissors and cut that oval out. And this part can get a little bit trickier, so if you need help, ask for help from someone near you. And so now I got a hole in it. And so if I open this up, that symmetry is going to be there. How do you like that? So we're going to kind of keep doing that, and I'll just fold in a different spot where there's another oval. And I'm not making a crease in the fold. I'm just folding it down, a nice soft fold. And I'm going to do the next oval. And then the circle. Again, I'm going to fold the circle in half. I'm going to find that centerpiece of the circle. I'm going to cut all the way around. And again, this is a spot where, mistakes might happen. It might not be that perfect circle that you want, but that's okay, because if you look at nature outside in the woods, things aren't perfect. And that's the way it is. We don't want something that looks overly perfect. And we have a few more things here, and these smaller circles here, if you can see those ones up on top, those ones would be a little bit harder to cut out as a circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a triangle. So if there's two triangles put together, if you know what shape that is, it's going to turn out to be a little square or a diamond. So I like that shape. And that works well for these little circles that I made here. And it's a kind of a quick and easy way to cut the paper out. And again, each one is going to look just a little bit different. And I like how, they're not all the same. They're not all exactly what the other one looks like. Butterflies have that ability to look very different. So there's all those. And there's one more little piece up here on this upper wing. So I'll do my last little fold here. And again, do that little dot. So my upper wing is finished. How do you like that? Looks pretty cool, huh? And I like how when we do it this way, both sides look the same. So now I'm going to move on to the bottom wing. And when I move on to the bottom wing, I want to talk a little bit about some of the butterflies because there's a few butterflies, like the Monarch Butterfly, that's very popular. And a lot of people see it, and a lot of people see it all over the place. And the main reason that, you know, it's all over the place is that butterfly migrates. It moves from one place to another place. And the cool thing about that is the monarch butterfly can travel or migrate up to 2,500 miles away. Now, to put that into perspective, if you were at the Indian Valley Family YMCA and you wanted to fly 2,500 miles away, you could end up in California. Pretty cool. So, it's a lot. And so this little butterfly travels that much of a distance. So a lot of people see them, and those butterflies are really important for our ecosystem. They really help with pollinating the plants and the crops and the food that we eat and that we need to feed other animals. All right, moving on to my last two dots here. So again, these little dots, I'm just doing a little triangle cut, going at one angle and then going at a 45-degree angle on another side. And that is all of the cuts. So when I open it up, the butterfly is done. I like that. Now, what I want to do is add some color to this butterfly, but we just added all these holes, so we have to do it in a little bit of a different way. So I'm going to put it on the table, and I'm going to use tape. So this is going to make it stick to the table. So once you kind of know where you want it to go, you know, keep it in that spot. A harder surface is going to work to get the tape off. And you're just going to put the tape onto it, covering all of the holes. So I'm just going to kind of go through. I'm going to take off these little pieces of tape, and I'm just going to cover every hole that I cut out. And again, it's going to stick to the table, and that is perfectly fine. That's kind of what we want it to do right now. It kind of holds it in place. It makes it look nice and keeps it from moving around a lot. If you rip a piece of tape and it kind of goes over, that's okay. You know, you have scissors, you can trim it. And as we're going through, we're just about there, and you can see it's kind of taped right straight down onto this table here that I'm on. I'm just making sure every hole is covered. And there's a few spots that the tape went over, and at the end, if I need to, I'll use the scissors and I'll fix those pieces. And the last little piece here goes right like that. Now, what we want to do is start coloring with the different colors. So an eyeball has some white in it, sometimes a little reflection light. So you can make this top eye however you want it. If you did a big circle, try to make it look like a little bit of an eye. So I'm going to make the black dot, the black center of an eye, and I'm just going to color that right into the middle. And then I like the color orange, so I'm going to draw around the black pupil that I just drew with orange. And so with symmetry, not only does this shape have to be the same, but the color also has to be the same. And just going to redo a little bit of that black center there. So whatever color I color on one side, I want to do the same on the other side. So let's take a blue, and I want to color this middle piece in blue. And so I'm going to go to this side and do the same over here. Color this side in blue. The best thing to use with these are markers, and we don't have a lot of markers here. I think Dina ate them. It's alright. It's fine. I'm not mad at her. She likes to eat markers sometimes. I don't know why. But we're just going to go in and we're going to use the pens that we have. And again, every time I color in one spot, I'm going to color in the same spot on the other side. And I'm going to use as many colors as I can. On one of these, this top one, I think what I'm going to do is go green on the outside here. And do the same on this other one. Just on the outside of that circle, of the oval in the middle here. And then I'm going to do pink in the middle. And that might be cool. Another cool thing about butterflies is they are transparent. So that means their wings, if you hold their wings up to light, you'll be able to see the light through their wings. Even though you can see that color and that brightness, if you hold their wings up to light, or if you ever have them land near you on a flower and the sun's behind them and you try to look to see the sun, you can see the light coming through their wings. So I'm using some purple here and just filling them all in. Get some green and move on to the lower wing. I think I forgot a few of the pieces on the upper wing, so I'm just going to use this green one to fill in this top diamond on the upper wing. And the greatest part about this activity is you can really make it look the way you want it to look. So you can use the colors you want, you can cut it the way you want it to cut. So just like there's a lot of different and unique butterflies out there, this will allow for you to create your own unique butterfly. See that? Colors coming out nicely. And they all look a little different. A lot of them are very bright, and that's why I'm using a lot of these really bright colors. I think I'm going to put some more orange down here. A little more blue. And fill it in to the best of your ability. If it doesn't come out fully, that's okay. That's alright. Again, you can make changes if you want. You can add on to it. Or maybe for this first one, it didn't turn out the way you want it to, and you want to try something different. That's okay. And the last little spot here. What we're going to do now is carefully peel it off the table. So because the tape is down, you want to be careful when you're peeling it up. Peel it nice and slowly so it doesn't rip. And I'm going to get another piece of paper here so I can show you what it looks like. Again, I love butterflies, and they come out really, really cool. So here it is. Here's my butterfly. And if you had different color paper, you can use, a black construction paper or a brown construction paper. And then you can hang this up in the window, and where all the tape is going to shine through. So there is my butterfly. And with it being springtime now, you're going to start seeing a lot more butterflies. You might even see their cocoons. So there's a lot of different things that you can be looking for outside. Start looking for them, and if you see them, don't harm them. Don't try to move them. Don't bring them inside. Leave them outside. Let them do their thing outside, and they will hatch, and they will expand their wings. And when they first hatch out of their cocoon, they need to let their wings dry. So you might see a butterfly just kind of sitting on a plant. Don't go up to it and try to pick it up or move it, because once you do that, you might damage their wings. They're very fragile wings. So that is our craft today.